Topeka newspaper editor Jason Clark Swayze, shown here, died in a shootout with a rival newspaperman in 1877 just east of 6th and Kansas Avenue in downtown Topeka. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online, talking about how Swayze is the focus of a recently published book by Brian Howard called Showdown of Post Office Alley. The Kansas State Historical Society provided this photo of Swayze, who was born in New Jersey in 1833 and worked as a printer for editor Horace Greeley in New York City. Swayze then founded and published a newspaper in Georgia before moving in 1873 to Topeka, where he established the Topeka Blade, saying its purposes would include cutting off rotten limbs in this community. Howard's book tells how Swayze was quick to condemn other journalists, including Topeka Times editor Veer Porter Wilson, shown here. Wilson's son, 24-year-old John W. Wilson, knocked the 44-year-old Swayze to the ground during a confrontation on March 10, 1877. By then, the Wilsons were no longer involved with the Times, and John Wilson worked for the Topeka Commonwealth. Later that month, Swayze published an article calling John Wilson a gambler and a pimp. A white sign identifying the Commonwealth's office can be seen across the street in this photo taken in the mid-1870s at 6th and Kansas. Swayze's office for the Blade was at the rear of the building on the right, which also housed a drugstore and a mining company. Behind that building's back door was Post Office Alley, where Wilson confronted Swayze on March 27, 1877. Both were armed. Wilson, who was accompanied by a local constable, said he just wanted to talk. But the confrontation turned into a shootout. Swayze was hit in the chest, while Wilson was grazed on the left cheek. Wilson subsequently was tried for murder and manslaughter at the Shawnee County Courthouse, shown here. He was found not guilty on all counts. The Topeka Blade's name was changed in 1879 to the Topeka State Journal. The State Journal was bought in 1940 by Oscar Stauffer, shown here. It merged in 1981 with the Topeka Daily Capital to form the Topeka Capital Journal, which still serves the city today. Showdown at Post Office Alley can be purchased online for $15.95 at postofficealley.com. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online.